All right, so here's the guided practice sheet, the one that has the little mousy guy at the top that says guided practice. What you're gonna see is there's 8 boxes of numbers with decimals, and our directions say put the numbers in the boxes in order, starting with the smallest. So this is gonna be similar to what we did when we worked with our words and we looked at the letters of the alphabet to put them in alphabetical order. This is like alphabetical order of numbers, all right? So let's take it this first one, we'll do this one together. So you always want to start with the numbers over on the left. So 3.25, 3.52, 3.50, 3.05. So they all start with 3, 3, 3, 3. So that doesn't give us any clue about who's going to come first, right? Because they all start with a 3. So after I do that, I'm going to look at the second number. So 3, 2, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 0. Well, right there, I can see that there's one number that's smaller than the rest of them, right? 30, 30, 35, 35, 32. The 30 number has to come first because 0 is going to come before everything else, right? So I'm going to cross that out. Now I'm left with 32, 35, and 35. Well, 32 is going to come next, so I'm going to write that over here, 3.25. Even though there's numbers that are after it, that tenths number is still going to be enough information to get us to know which one's going to come first. Now that's going to change on our last two because I have 3.5 and 3.5, so now I got to go all the way out to the hundredths number, right? So I have 3.50 or 3.52. Which is going to be the smaller of those two. Well, 0 is smaller than 2, so my next number is going to be 3.50, and then finally I've got my 3.52, right? Okay, so that's the first example. Now, for me, I struggled with that because here's a trick that I think that you might be able to use, and it might help you in your thinking. So when you have your set of numbers that you're putting in order, write them like this. Write them so that they are all lined up on the decimal, right? So that they are, all your ones are lined up together, all your tenths are lined up together, and all your hundredths are lined up together. And to me, it's much easier to look in a column going up and down to see which numbers are bigger or smaller than others, right? You might not have a problem with this and going through number by number and stuff. That's a little more challenging for me, but if I wrote my numbers on top of each other, I can just look down, everybody's a 3, that doesn't help. Then the tenths is gonna be my next number. I got 2, 5, 5, 0. 0 is gonna come next, right? Then I've got 2, 5, 5. Well, 2 beats the 5s for low numbers. And then of my ones that are left over, I've got a 2 or a 0. So I even can either just take and write those numbers over there, or I could put a little like, okay, that's gonna be my smallest one because 3.0 comes first. This is gonna be my next one. 3.50 is going to be next, and that's going to be my fourth number. And then you can see I have those numbers over there, 3.05, 3.25, 3.50, and 3.52. All right. Now, this is a strategy that I use when I'm doing numbers in order. Use it if you want to, don't use it if you don't want to. If you think you can do it and just look at your numbers like that, whichever works for you, that's perfectly fine. All right. So I'm gonna look at my next numbers. So I'm gonna stay true to my form here, and I'm gonna write my numbers, 4.05, 5.04, 4.50, and 5.40, all right? Now, I don't wanna confuse those with the other ones. It's important that you always line up your numbers on the decimal, make sure all your ones digits are in line, your tenths are in line, your hundredths are in line. Sometimes you're gonna get numbers where they're not all nice and even like this. You might have a whole number in a tenth, a whole number in a hundredth, maybe you'd only have hundredths, and maybe you only have a tenth. So it's important to line everybody up on the decimal so you're comparing the right numbers, all right? So now I'm going to look down my list. I got a 4, a 5, a 4, and a 5. Well, I know the 4s are smaller than the 5s, so then I got to look at the second number, 40 or 45. What's going to come next? The 40. So 4.05 is going to be my first number. Cross him off. Now I got 544 or 545, so I'm going to have my 4.50. Do you notice purple pen is back today? All right. Now I got a 5, so I got 50 or 54, which is going to come next. It's obviously the 5.04, and then the 5.40. And then I've got all my numbers in order, okay? Now, the thing about rewriting the numbers like this is going to take up some space. So you might want to have just a piece of paper, you know, something where you're going to write all these numbers out. If you want to use a dry erase board or the Ziploc baggy dry erase board that we made, anything is like that. Okay, that will work. Now, sometimes the set of numbers that they give you is really easy. I got a 2, a 6, a 2, and a 2. Well, obviously the 6 is bigger than all the 2's, so we know that the 6 is going to be my last number, right? Because they go from least to greatest. So I can get rid of that one. 2, 6, 2, 6, 2, 2. Well, obviously 2 is smaller than my 2 6's, so my first number is going to be 2.26. And then that just leaves me to figure out who's going to be smaller. 2.62, 2.66. Well, 2, 6, 2, 6, they're tied. I've got a 2 or a 6. Then I know the 2.62 is next, and the 2.66 is going to come after that in third place, okay? So sometimes your numbers will really help you. Now, if I look at this next one, 5, 5, 5, 5. And then I got a bunch of 5s, I got a bunch of 4s, and I got a bunch of 5s and 4s all together. This might be a good one for me to just write my numbers out. So I've got a 5.55, 5.45, 5.54, 5.44. I think they did this to try to confuse me. All right. So if I line everybody up on the decimal, all my 1s are here. They're all 5s, so that doesn't give me information about who's bigger. Then I'm going to look at my second numbers. 5, 5, 5, 4, 5, 5, 5, 4. So obviously I know I want my attention to look at the 5 4s because 4s come before 5s, right? So I got 5, 4, 5, 5, 4, 4. What's smaller? 4, 4, then 4, 5, right? So I'm going to have 5.44, 5.45. That gets rid of those two. Now I'm left with my 5.55, 5.54. Well, 4 is smaller than 5, so 5.54 is going to come next, and 5.55 is going to be my biggest number. And they're all crossed out. Okay, look at this next one. 6, 2, 2, 6. All right, well, I know the 6's are going to be my big ones. The 2's are going to come first. So you can tackle this in any number ways you want to, right? So let's start with the smallest one. 2, 3 or 2, 6. Which one's going to come first? Well, the 3 is smaller than 6. So I got 2.36, then 2.63. I can take care of both those just like that, right? Then I got 6.3 or 6.2. Well, 6.2 is smaller, so 6.23 is going to be followed by 6.32. So sometimes the problems are pretty easy just to reason out. Now they throw again at us 7, 7, 7, 7. So I'm going to want to write all these out again. So I got 7.43, 7.46. I'm taking my time, so I'm lining everybody up. And 7.14, okay? 7s are all alike in my 1's digits, so that doesn't help me. 4, 4, 4, 1. Yay, 1 is smaller, so I know 7.14 is going to come first. Cross him off my list.